Now, let us learn the fixation of Fischer and Paykel nasal interface. We require an appropriate size cap, appropriate size nasal interface and appropriate nasal prongs for fixation of Fischer and Paykel interface. Caps are available in 4 different sizes: 17 to 22 cm, 22 to 25 cm, 25 to 29 cm and 29 to 36 cm. Fischer and Paykel interface is available to us in 3 different sizes: 50, 70 and 100 millimeters. 50 millimeter for babies weighing less than 1 kg, 70 for babies weighing in between 1 and 2 kilos and 100 millimeter for babies who weigh more than 2 kilos. The nasal prongs are available to us in 11 different sizes. The first 2 numbers on the nasal prongs denote the size of the nasal orifice, and the 2 numbers following that is 20 in the visible nasal prong, denote the size of the nasal columella. Select the prong of appropriate size depending upon the size of the nasal orifice and the size of the baby's columella. Let us look at the size of the prong for this baby. The size of the nasal orifice indicates that the first 2 digits of the nasal prongs will be 4, 5, and the size of the nasal columella indicates that size 40 would be appropriate for this baby. So, we shall choose a prong with the number 4540. Appropriate size cap for fixation of Fischer and Paykel prongs is seen by measuring the head circumference of the baby. The head circumference of this baby is 29 centimeter. So, we shall use the cap with the size 25 to 29 centimeter. Place the cap over the baby so that the ears of the baby are well covered. Now, we shall place the appropriate size nasal prong and the nasal interface for the baby. The size of the nasal interface for this baby is 70 millimeter, since the baby is 1.4 kilos weight. Now, attach the appropriate size nasal prong. The number of the nasal prong is also written over the prongs. Apply Tegaderm over the bridge of the nose. Insert the nasal prongs into the nasal cavity gently and support the nasal interface over the forehead of the baby. Stabilize the interface with the given sponge material to ensure that the weight of the nasal prongs does not fall directly over the bridge of the nose. Connect the slings on both sides of the cap so that while the baby moves the head, the prongs do not move from their respective place. The height of the nasal interface can be adjusted by tearing off the extra material provided so that better fixation of the interface can be ensured. Ensure that the distance in between the nasal prongs and the columella is at least 2 mm so that damage to the columella is avoided. Now, with the available slings over the cap, tie the cap so that it fits snugly over the baby's head. The Fischer and Paykel interface system with the appropriate size nasal prong and the appropriate cap size is now in place. In this video, we shall learn about the fixation of Argyl nasal prongs. The equipment required for fixation of Argyl nasal prongs includes a handmade cap which has slings on both the sides and nasal prongs. Nasal prongs are available to us in 3 different sizes. The extra small for babies who weigh less than 1 kg. Small Argyl prong for babies who weigh in between 1 and 1.5 kilograms. And the large nasal prongs for babies who weigh more than 1.5 kilograms. First, select an appropriate size cap for the baby so that the ears of the baby are well covered. Next, apply a tegaderm over the bridge of the nose. This is to ensure that the Argyl nasal prongs do not damage the nasal bridge. This baby weighs 1.4 kilos, so the appropriate nasal prong would be the small Argyl nasal prong. Now, place the prong in the baby's nostrils with the prongs pointing backwards, and the sling of the cap should be tied on either side so that the prong is secured in good position. The slings should be tied on either side so that the pressure does not fall directly over the eyes. Similarly, tie the sling on the opposite side. The minimum distance in between the columella and the nasal prongs should be at least 2 mm so as to avoid direct injury to the columella. The ventilator tubings are connected to the other end of the Argyl nasal prongs. While connecting the ventilator tubings to the other end, it is important to be remembered that the pressure of the ventilator tubings does not fall directly over the bridge of the nose. That means that once the ventilator tubings are connected, they should be appropriately supported. So, we have learnt the fixation of patient interface for the available nasal CPAP devices, namely the Hudson nasal prongs, the Fischer and Paykel nasal prongs, and the Argyl nasal prongs. It is very important to remember that appropriate humidification, regular checking for excoriation, and ensuring appropriate suction is the key to success in these available nasal CPAP devices.